ill sports in this channel. Well, let's go over a sports team, and that's the Buffalo Bills. They've only won their division once, pushing in the wild card last time in 2017 when they were a surprise favorite to be one of the Cinderella stories because they haven't made a playoff series since 1999. They've been in a majority of mediocrity for a majority of the 2000s. I mean, for the entire 2000s, no less. I didn't even hear them make a wild card team. The most they had going for them was Marshawn Lynch. Doug Flutie in like his 17th year in the league. Mario Williams being the only progress they had to having a good draft pick. Being a good signing, and they still had mediocre quarterbacks. E.J. Manuel. I think they even had Kevin Cobb, Ryan Fitzpatrick for several seasons, and they have yet to, push something. And now they have the quarterback of the future, Singletary, a definable backfield with not much pass rushers, and Stephon Diggs being an all-pro receiver from the Minnesota Vikings. So do you think, after repeating for first time being division leaders since 98, they're proceeding off of 7-5, second best now in the AFC East, and they're now below the New England Patriots. But this isn't the New England Patriots with Tom Brady that's leading the division in the NFC South, because every team there is like mediocre. So that's why the Patriots are having a more easier time than they did last season, when people doubted Tom Brady's first season there, when it was week 1, and I doubted them too, because they needed time to gel. It's obvious that you're not going to beat a Saints team with Drew Brees, with an experienced run and catch halfback with Alvin Kamara and an actual good backfield that can get reads off Tom Brady if he doesn't play his cards right. They did beat him their last meeting, but besides the point, I don't know what's going on with the Bills. After their bye week, they just came around weak. They can't run the ball efficiently. It's either Diggs or death. Now they're coming, and this is coming from them taking a bit of a break. They have won only 3 of their last 5 games after getting upsetted by Jacksonville by a total of only 15 points. Jacksonville Jaguars suck. That's the synopsis why. Jacksonville has always sucked. They are sucking even worse with the rookie quarterback that can't make a decent read to save his life. He hasn't played well since the first couple games of the season, and he's coming out throwing 3 picks. Now, the Texans play better than the Jaguars, and then they come off you beat the Saints that are a hurt offense that can't get their defense right, with injuries coming over Paxton Lynch, and then Taysom Hill got hurt with his hand wearing a stupid cast that one time when he had his Thanksgiving game against the Bills. You're telling me you guys are proud about those wins? You got the Patriots that lead up now in the first seed in the AFC. Now the division leading with only 10 wins. They haven't stacked up. They used to be averaging around 30 points early up in the season. There hasn't been a game where they haven't scored below 25 points. And now you come off losing to teams like the frickin' Jaguars, the Colts, and the Patriots. Now the Colts are raveling for a wild card spot, and the Patriots are in the cusp of winning their division without Tom Brady since Drew Bledsoe. It's been since Drew Bledsoe. You guys remember that name? You gotta be kidding me. So, I think the problem here, the explanation is, what's going on with this Bills team? Why are they playing so frontally poor? Sure, they'll have some good games once in a while, But bro, let's go over it. 65% rating for Josh Allen. He's the third leading rusher of the team, and he has 10 picks into the season. That's a problem. If you can see that Josh Allen got sacked like twice, I think against the other Josh Allen, there's barely much of a pocket presence for a guy that's like over 6'3". And I just think there's too many times I've been trying to like move out the pocket and try to always think of a way to escape the defense other than trying to find a good receiver. And you have good players. I mean, sure, you guys didn't have anything going for you. I mean, other than some plays off Emmanuel Sanders, you just got to chuck it over to Stephon Diggs. And yeah, he's the leading receiver over in the team, but he got 108 targets over 71 receptions. That's not that good. Emmanuel Sanders is even worse with 67 over 39. And Singletary is literally, they're either pass, run, or nothing. And the Patriots didn't even beat you guys in that just in the last, on the Monday night game, just a few nights ago. You guys can efficiently pass the ball well. And it's even inconsistent enough, even when Allen does, he'll just throw like 3 picks, or he'll get sacked over too much time in the pocket, and now you guys got the Buccaneers. The Patriots again come late December, and then you guys have 2 easy games against the Falcons. Now it's a possibility that they could come back on the road and beat the Patriots. Low. Possibly the Panthers, because the Panthers suck. But the Buccaneers is going to be a high pricing point to see if the Bills are even primed to even contend. They're 7-5. They are even worse on road games. I think that's the most they'll like even pick up their most points, or even play the most inconsistent, or even run the ball worse, because they like most of the road games you're seeing 51% completion rating and below 100 QB rating. Like, no. Come on. Their defense allows a lot of backfield penalties, and they're just not with a good like pressuring system. Like, no, can you name anybody on the D line for the Bills? Like, everybody knows Jordan Poyer, Tyler Edmonds, Tyron Jackson, of course, Tre'Davious White. Those are all backfielders. Other than Ed Oliver, you can't name anybody on defense, bro. Bills really were suited for me, because I predicted this for myself. I had this whole discussion over with some friends of mine to win the whole AFC East with their average road schedule. That everybody on their schedule is defensively polished, except possibly the Buccaneers, the Dolphins, and possibly the Jaguars, even though they have a young defense, and the Steelers, and the Buccaneers. That's it. I already said the Buccaneers twice. I already messed this up, guys, but they suck. They're letting everybody in like a treesh right now. They are allowing as many guys up the guts like Stephanie back in the 90s. They're not doing much to prove their case. And it's off this inept fan base that's going to be pushed over worse. Hell, even if they don't make the playoffs, because they're 2 games away from being fully to wild card race, this could spell the end for the Bills' hype. If Josh Allen doesn't clean this shit up, their defense actually stops somebody up the field, and they actually do better off their run game. No, passing is more of the threat. Because either Allen runs or chucks it over to their best receiver, or Cole Beasley trying to think that's going to be enough to win a game. It's not. But, that's just besides me. What do you think are the problem with the Buffalo Bills? Hopefully we could talk about this in the comment section, whoever is that concerned. I know I don't really frequently talk about football as I should, but I just feel like this is a huge disappointment. I already know that my Niners are really in the cusp of a playoff hunt, even though we lost to the Seattle Seahawks, but that's coming out of a 3-game winning streak. So there's still a hunch for playoff success there, or still a smidgen of hope, seeing how much we're going to get out of the Garoppolo situation, or see if Trey Lance develops, or if we don't make the playoffs, we can at least try to start over a rookie and see what upsides he got. So that's what I'm expecting. Hopefully we make it to the playoffs. Seeing like how I want to say that we have a competitive football season right now. Like nobody's prime to be a full contender unless we're counting the Cardinals or the Buccaneers or the Steelers. Even though the Steelers like falling over like whenever they play like a prime team they can, or sometimes they'll do bullshit like tie against the Lions that haven't won a game until December. And knowing that is the case, you can't really name a lot of prime teams in the AFC or the NFC that feel like those guys are going to win a Super Bowl, other than possibly thinking that it's going to be the Patriots or the Buccaneers. Thinks the Patriots kind of have a renaissance in the second half of the season. But that's besides me. Thanks for watching. Subscribe and like for more. That's it for me.